Hi, my name is Phoenix. I'm a constituent of Representative Donworth. Um, I also am a representative of the Black low-income community, and something that is harming our community a lot is the housing crisis. Um, a lot of renters are spending around like 75 to a lot of renters are spending like 75 to 90% of their income on rent, and there's no rental assistance in Kentucky, or the little rental assistance that we have is running out. There's no rental caps. Things are just getting worse. I'm kind of wondering, what are your all's plans on helping out Black low-income renters and just people that are in my position?
Thank you. So the snide comment I was going to make as Adrielle was talking there was about the priority of the interim committee and what they pay attention to, and how that, in theory, drives what legislation they're going to see in next year. Last year, the big focus was housing task force, and we saw practically nothing about it. We had an incredible, I mentioned Joshua Watkins earlier, from Louisville, who has worked for the Louisville Metro government in their affordable housing, and has a lot of really great expertise. He worked with Lindsay Burke, who's from Lexington, but could not actually be here today. And they created this incredible package of what did they end up calling it? No, they went with another name. Kentucky Housing Opportunity Act, thank you, which was really an omnibus package to address housing issues, both from how do we help people with first-time home buying assistance, how do we make sure that renters have rights. We did also, one of our colleagues filed a bill that was a renter's bill of rights. Obviously none of those things moved forward. And I think, unfortunately, with the signaling that we're getting out of the federal government, I'm really afraid that things are going to get a lot worse rather than better. So I think there's something we've got to figure out how we as a local community, and maybe with some state help, will be able to do it.
Thank you. As the Dean of Lexington House of Representatives, I've been around a while. It is important to understand how important this is. I want to congratulate each and every one of you for being out here today in the rain and the storms that are happening. This is happening all over America. Americans are currently sick and tired of being sick and tired, and it's time that we stand up. There is not enough prison cells to lock all of us up. So what we've got to do is stand up and be about the business of what our forefathers and founders of America said that we're entitled to. I read something today by Dan Rather, and I don't know if I got this exactly right, but this is the way I remember it. If you hire a clown, expect the circus. So what we have is a circus because we've hired a clown. And the thing is that as we look in the mirror, we've got to understand and know that what we have is people following like the Pied Piper. Jim Jones told people to drink that juice and you will be in salvation. They drank the juice and they are in salvation. So what we have, as long as we have strength in our bodies, we must stand and resist. We got to resist. We've got to resist. And we've got to hold people accountable. People that we have elected that have sold us the song and the dance and that we're for you and the soft shoe. Look at what they do. Look at what they vote for. Look at what they stand for. And it's important to support the people that support you. Just going to Frankfurt and saying that I'm a state representative does nothing. Most of the people except Chad up here are new. And they've come in and they call themselves the Fabulous Five. And that's okay. I have problems with that. I think I'm pretty fabulous. For those of you all that have followed me, I am unapologetically in their face. and saying the things that I think and feel. I don't always say anything, and people are on my case. Say something, George, say something. And I say in my mind when I get ready.
Right.
And when I say something and it has the most impact, I think that we've got to understand that as we debated House Bill 4, and I spoke on House Bill 4, and people are telling us that the problem in America is diversity, equity, and inclusion. And I don't want to use that acronym anymore, and I don't want you to use it anymore. Say the words: diversity, equity, and inclusion. Diversity, equity, and inclusion. I contend that is not the problem in America. The problem in America, and put these initials into your lexicon: greed, incompetence, and corruption. What we have in America is that there's a class of people, and there are people in America that are just simply about taking from the helpless, the most needy people in our society, and we got to say no, hell no, excuse my expression, but over our dead body. We as American people have the ability to stand up and say what is right and to do what is right, and we have to force our elected representatives to stand up and do the very same thing. Thank you.
So, to go back to the question, would you all like to talk about the efforts to mitigate the Lexington short-term rental ordinance? Anybody?
What I just said: greed, incompetence, and corruption. It is about money. It is about money, and it doesn't have anything to do with what's right about the housing stock and providing housing for the people of our communities. And there will be an election again. 24, some of us voted, and my question to you is, as a result of your vote, are you getting what you voted for? So that being the case, whether the answer is yes or no, is that we are preparing these forums all over the country, and I'm running out of here to Louisville. There's a big reception, or there's a big rally in Louisville this afternoon in the rain. That's why I got my Kentucky State rain jacket. So I'm gonna be out in the rain, and there are gonna be some other people out there. What we've got to understand is that we have got to protest, and we've got to stand together and resist the things that are happening in our country. If we disagree with them, we have the right. We have the right to disagree and to stand up and tell the powers that be that enough is enough.
All right. Anybody else want to add to that, or we want to go to the next question? Next question.